Simona Halep. Simona Halep is a Romanian professional tennis player. Halep first broke into the world's top 50 at the end of 2012, reached the top 20 in August 2013, and finally the top 10 in January 2014. She won her first 6 WTA titles in the same calendar year in 2013, being named the WTA's Most Improved Player at its end, as well as being named ESPN Center Court's 2013 Most Improved Player. Halep reached the 2014 French Open final, her first Grand Slam final, where she lost to Maria Sharapova in 3 sets. She also reached the final of the WTA Finals the same year, losing to Serena Williams in straight sets after having defeated her earlier in the tournament. Halep continued her success throughout the 2015 and 2016 seasons, winning 3 titles in each respective season and remaining within the top 10. Halep was the most clicked player on WTAtennis.com for 2 consecutive years, when she was awarded the WTA Most Popular Player of the Year prize. Early years. Simona Halep was born in the Dobrojan city of Constanța to Steri and Tania Halep, a family of Aromanian descent. Her father, a former football player at Sargeau Steharu playing in the lower leagues, owns a dairy products factory. Halep started playing tennis at the age of 4, in emulation of her older brother. At age 6, she was practicing daily. At age 16, she relocated to Bucharest to further her tennis career. She named Justine Henin and Andrei Pavel as 2 of her idols when she was younger. Trophy in 2008. 2008-09 Junior Slam title. She started the year 2008 playing in junior competitions, reaching the final in Notting Hill, where she lost to Arantxa Rus, then defeated Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the quarter-finals at the Australian Open Junior Championships, before losing in the semi-final to Jessica Moore. She went on to win a pair of events in May and June. First, a victory in the finals at Trofeo Bonfiglio, winning over Bojana Jovanovski in 2 sets. Then, at the Roland Garros Junior Championships, she entered the main draw as the 9th seed. In the first round, she defeated Charlotte Rodier, then Karen Barbat from Denmark. And in the third round, Halep won against 5th seed Jessica Moore, in straight sets. In the quarter-finals, she beat 13th seed Ksenia Likina, and in the semi-finals, Halep defeated 2nd seed Arantxa Rus. She closed things by winning the All-Romanian final in 3 sets against 10th seed Elena Bogdan. She also started entering senior developmental ITF tournaments in the spring. Success arrived when she won 2 smaller ITF $10,000 tournaments in Bucharest in April to May, against Elena Bogdan, and then against Stephanie Vongsaldi at the main ITF $50,000 tournament in Bucharest in May. Halep eliminated former Roland Garros quarter-finalist Cecil Karatancheva in the first round, before losing in the quarter-finals to fellow countrywoman Sorana Cirstea in 3 sets. That was followed in June by a victory at the ITF $25,000 tournament in Sweden at Kristinehamn, by defeating the 5th-seeded Anne Schaefer in the final. She continued to play on the ITF circuit for the entirety of 2009, while also entering qualifying for main WTA tournaments at Paris Indoors in February and Roland Garros in May, losing in the second round each time. In April and May she continued her success. First, at the ITF $50,000 tournament in Makarska, Halep began her campaign with wins over Ana Vrljic of Croatia, and an upset victory over Ksenia Pivac. She defeated Anne Schaefer, without dropping a game, and beat second-seeded Arantxa Rus to advance to the final. However, Halep fell to the top seed Tatjana Malik in 3 sets. She then reached the quarterfinals at the Bucharest ITF $100,000 tournament, losing to Andrea Petkovic, making her first attempt to qualify for a senior Grand Slam tournament at Roland Garros. She defeated 17th seed Michaela Krajicek in her first match, but fell to Vitalia Diatchenko in 3 sets in the following round. In August, Halep won the ITF $25,000 tournament in Maribor, defeating top seed Catalin Morosi in the final in 2 sets. She also made the semi-finals of the indoors ITF $50,000 tournament in Minsk, Belarus and ITF $25,000 tournament in Opole, Poland in November. At almost 18 years old, Halep decided that her large breasts were interfering with her tennis, and underwent a breast reduction surgical procedure to reduce her bust size from T4DD. She later explained the decision in going to 34C, "It's the weight that troubles me. My ability to react quickly. My breasts make me uncomfortable when I play. I don't like them in my everyday life, either. I would have gone for surgery even if I hadn't been a sportswoman." She also experienced back pain. She later revealed her reduced bust size at the French Open in May 2010. After the surgery, she moved up constantly in the world rankings, reaching world number 2 in 2014. 2010 to 12 Grand Slam main draw appearances, progress to top 50. In January she entered the Australian Open, but lost to Stephanie Fortes of France in the first round of qualifying. She was ranked 166 in the world as of April 5, 2010. Her breakthrough on the WTA Tour occurred during the 2010 Andalusia tennis experience on the clay courts of Marbella, Spain. As a qualifier, she advanced to the quarterfinals with wins over world number 70 Iveta Benisova and world number 36 Sorana Cîrstea. She then put up a fight against world number 16 Flavia Pennetta, but was eventually beaten by the number 2 seed. Halep then qualified for the 2010 Barcelona Ladies Open by winning 3 matches, but was defeated in the first round of the main draw by Carla Suarez Navarro. Halep's impressive form continued into the 2010 Grand Prix Sarlane, Princesse Lala in Fez. Seeded first in the qualifying round, she qualified by defeating Natalie Viarin and Estrella Cabeza Candela. In the first round she defeated number 8 seed Lucy Radecka in 2 sets. In the second round she defeated Olga Savchuk, before causing a big upset in the quarterfinals, where she defeated number 2 seed and former top 10 player Patty Schneider in straight sets. In the semi-final she defeated Renata Vereshova to advance to her first WTA Tour tournament final, but she lost to Vereshova's Czech compatriot Iveta Benisova in final. In May 2010 Halep qualified for her first ever Grand Slam main draw at French Open, defeating Bethany Mattek-Sands in the final round of qualifying. She was defeated in 2 sets in the first round by 7th seed and eventual finalist Samantha Stosur. In August 2010, Halep qualified for the main draw of the US Open, where she faced Jelena Jankovic in the first round. Halep had a chance to win an upset victory over Jankovic, but was broken while serving for the match at 5-4 in the third. In the end, Jankovic won in 3 sets. In January of 2011, she reached the quarterfinals in the 2011 ASB Classic, defeating Ayumi Morita and Elena Vesnina, but losing to the second seed, Janina Wickmeyer. She would go then to the 2011 Morilla Hobart International, but she would lose in the third qualifying round, in a decisive set against Magdalena Rybarikova. At the 2011 Australian Open, Halep qualified for the first time in her career in the third round of a tennis Grand Slam on seniors. beating the 24th seed Elisa Klebanova before losing in straight sets to the 12th seed Agnieszka Radwanska and not progressing to the fourth round. In April, at the 2010 Grand Prix Sarlane, Princess Ilala Meryem, she repeated her prior year's accomplishment of reaching the finals, but lost to Alberta Brianti in straight sets. At the 2011 Estoril Open, she was defeated in the first round by the eventual champion Annabelle Medina Garrigues in 2 tiebreaks. At the 2011 French Open, Halep beat Alla Kudryavtseva, then lost to 8th seed Samantha Stosur in the second round. In the 2011 Wimbledon Championships, Halep defeated Bojana Jovanovski before falling to 7th seed Serena Williams in 3 sets in the second round. For the 2011 BCR Open Romania Ladies, Halep was top-seeded and progressed to the semi-finals, defeating Masazedisi Peskiric, Lenka Jurikova, and Alexander Kadanta en route. However, she lost to Laura Putillo in the semi-finals. Halep qualified for the main draw at the 2011 Rogers Cup in Toronto, but drew 12th-seeded Svetlana Kuznetsova as her first opponent. After dropping the first set, Halep came back to win in a 2:14 long match that saw Kuznetsova make 50 unforced errors. It was Halep's first victory over a top 20 ranked player. She lost to Lucy Safarova in the second round. At the 2011 US Open, Halep was placed in the main draw, but drew Li Na in the first round. Despite playing with an ankle sprain she had suffered in Toronto earlier in the month, Halep defeated the 6th-seeded Li in a match that saw Li make 54 unforced errors to Halep's 19. It was Halep's first win over a top 10 ranked player. She lost in the second round to Carla Suarez Navarro in 3 sets. In October, at the BGL Luxembourg Open, Halep faced Kimiko Date-Krum in the first round, and defeated the former 4th-ranked player in straight sets. She fell in the second round to Anastasia Sevastova. Halep lost in the first round of the 2012 Australian Open after making the quarterfinals at Hobart. She then made it to the third round of the 2012 Indian Wells Masters and the 2012 Miami Masters. Halep then went on to make the quarterfinals in Barcelona and the semi-finals at Fez. She was beaten in Madrid and Rome by Venus Williams in the first round of both tournaments. Halep played at the 2012 Brussels Open in a tune-up for the 2012 French Open. She shocked former world number 1 Jelena Jankovic in the first round, and rallied against number 4 seed Dominika Cibulkova in the quarterfinals from a set down to advance to the semi-finals of the WTA Premier event. 2013 Breakthrough, 6 WTA titles. Halep began the year as the Romanian number 2, ranked number 47 in the world, 20 places behind Sorana Cîrstea. Her first 3 tournaments, ASB Classic, Hobart International, and Australian Open, ended in defeats. Her first major tournament breakthrough came at the Internazionale BNLD Italia in May, gaining 3 of the biggest victories of her career. Halep defeated 2-time Grand Slam champion Svetlana Kuznetsova, world number 4 Agnieszka Radwanska, and 2-time tournament champion and former world number 1 Jelena Jankovic to reach the semi-finals, where she was defeated soundly by eventual champion Serena Williams in straight sets. She later said that, "What changed was that I allowed myself to be relaxed on the court by taking the pressure off. I told myself to enjoy it and play with pleasure." At the French Open, Halep suffered her second successive first-round exit at a Grand Slam, falling to Carla Suarez Navarro. Despite taking the first set comfortably, she rebounded well, however, going on to win her first 2 WTA titles back-to-back. First, at the Nürnberger Versuchungscup in June, where she defeated Andrea Petkovic in the final, and then at the Top Shelf Open, where she defeated world number 11 Roberta Vinci with the loss of just one game in the second round, before defeating Kirsten Flipkens in the final. She became the first Romanian tennis player to win back-to-back tournaments on different surfaces. She claimed her first Grand Slam match win of the year at Wimbledon, defeating Olga Gavortsova of Belarus, before falling to Lena in 3 sets. After Wimbledon, in July, Halep entered the top 30 rankings for the first time. Following the grass court season, Halep went on to win her 3rd title of the year, at the Budapest Grand Prix, where she defeated Cecil Karatancheva, Agnes Bukta, Time Babos, and fellow Romanian Alexander Cadanta en route to her 3rd final of the year. She defeated Austrian Yvonne Moisberger in 3 sets to win her 3rd WTA title. In the second round of Cincinnati, Halep beat Marion Bartoli in the second round in what was Bartoli's last match of her career. She then beat Samantha Stosur to reach the quarterfinals, where she once again lost to Serena Williams. She won her 4th WTA title, and first in a Premier-level tournament, at the New Haven Open, defeating Petra Kvitova in the final in straight sets, which meant she entered the top 20 for the first time, at number 19. At the US Open, Halep reached the 4th round of a Grand Slam for the first time in her career, where she ultimately lost to Italian Flavia Pennetta in 2 sets. She then went on to win her 5th title of the year, and her 2nd at a premier event, beating Samantha Stosur in the final of the Kremlin Cup. As a result of her highly successful summer, Halep became the only player of the year to win titles on clay, grass, hard, and indoor courts, as well as the 2nd most successful player behind Serena Williams in terms of number of titles won. In November, Halep defeated former world number 1 Anna Ivanovic to reach the final of the WTA Tournament of Champions, her 9th career final and 6th of the year. She defeated Samantha Stosur in 3 sets for her 6th WTA title of the season. She finished her breakthrough year ranked number 11 in the world. On the 21st of November 2013, she won the award WTA's Most Improved Player of the Year for 2013. In December 2013, she was also named ESPN Center Court's 2013 Most Improved Player. 2014, reaching top 2, first major final and WTA Finals debut. Halep began the year at the Sydney International in January, where she was the number 7 seed in a draw that contained 6 of the WTA's top 10. However, was knocked out in her opening match against up-and-coming American Madison Keys, her first loss since September. She then headed to Melbourne for the Australian Open, where she was the number 11 seed. In her opening match she faced qualifier Katarzyna Pitta, defeating the Pole in 54 minutes, dropping just one game throughout the whole match. She next faced the American Varvara Lepchenko, where she dropped the first set, but easily won the next 2 sets. In the 3rd round, she defeated the qualifier Zarina Diaz in 2 sets, setting up a 4th round meeting with Jelena Jankovic. Halep defeated the former number 1 in the world in 3 sets, and qualified for the first time in her career in the quarterfinals of a Grand Slam. Halep then lost to eventual finalist Dominika Cibulkova, with the points gained. At the Australian Open, she moved to number 10 in the WTA rankings, becoming only the 4th Romanian player to enter the top 10, after Mariana Simonescu, Virginia Ruzici and Irina Spierlia. On the 16th of February 2014, Halep competed in the final of the Qatar Open, defeating Angelique Kerber in straight sets to win her first ever Premier 5 tournament. Halep described it as one of the best moments of my life. Then in March, as a result of defeating Casey Dellacqua at the BNP Paribas Open quarter-finals, she rose to number 5 in the world, becoming the highest-ranked Romanian in the history of the WTA. In May, Halep reached her first WTA Premier mandatory final at the Madrid Open. But after winning the first set for the loss of only one game, she lost to 8th seed Maria Sharapova in 3 sets. Her run to the final included wins over former Grand Slam champions Ana Ivanovic and Petra Kvitova in the quarterfinals and semi-finals respectively. Despite having to withdraw from the Internazionale BNL d'Italia after her second round win due to injury, Halep entered the top 4 in the rankings for the first time in the week starting the 19th of May 2014. Halep entered the French Open as the number 4 seed, and dropped just 11 games in her opening 3 rounds against Elisa Klebanova, Heather Watson, and Maria Teresa Torreflor respectively. After defeating Sloane Stephens in the 4th round, Halep reached her second consecutive Grand Slam quarterfinal, where she defeated former champion Svetlana Kuznetsova. She reached her first major final by defeating 28th-seeded German Andrea Petkovic in the semi-finals, which ensured that Halep would be world number 3, and the first Romanian since Virginia Ruzici in 1980 to reach a major final. Halep is also the first player since Martina Hingis in the 1997 Australian Open to reach her first Grand Slam final without losing a set. In the final, Halep lost to Maria Sharapova in a match lasting over 3 hours, in a rematch of the Madrid Open final staged a few weeks prior. At Wimbledon, Halep made it through her first 4 rounds with relative ease, dropping just 1 set on her way to a third consecutive Grand Slam quarterfinal. She then defeated last year's finalist Sabine Lisicki in straight sets to reach the semi-finals at Wimbledon for the first time, where she faced Canadian Eugenie Bouchard for a place in the final. Halep lost in straight sets. An ankle injury suffered in the first set proving to be her downfall. Halep then returned to her home of Romania to play the inaugural 2014 Bucharest Open, winning the final in straight sets against Roberta Vinci to clinch her second title of the year. On the 11th of August, Halep rose to second in the world rankings, overtaking Li Na. This was despite her non-participation at the Rogers Cup, where Li was a semi-finalist last year, but was forced to withdraw from the tournament this year due to a knee injury. Halep returned at Cincinnati, where after being given a first-round bye as the second seed, she defeated Kirsten Flipkens and Lucy Safarova in straight sets, before losing for a 5th time to Maria Sharapova in the quarterfinals. At the US Open, Halep, the second seed, reached the 3rd round, where she was upset by the resurgent Mirjana Lucic-Baroni in straight sets. Halep won her first ever WTA Finals match, beating fellow finals debutante Eugenie Bouchard in straight sets. On the 22nd of October 2014, Halep stunned 2-time defending champion Serena Williams. Williams' 2 games won equaled her career worst. The last time Williams managed to win just 2 games in a WTA Tour or Grand Slam match was in 1998, when she was just 16 years old. Halep could have eliminated Williams from the tournament had she lost her final round-robin match to Ana Ivanovic in straight sets. However, Halep chose to play to win the match, and ended up losing in 3 sets. Despite the defeat, Halep won her group, and secured an appearance in the semi-finals. She advanced to the final by beating Agnieszka Radwanska in straight sets. In the final match, she once again faced Williams, but this time lost in straight sets. 2015, the first WTA Premier mandatory title, US Open semis. Halep started the year ranked 3rd In the first half of January 2015, Halep played at the Shenzhen Open where she was the top seed, winning her 9th WTA title against number 47 Timea Baksinski. Halep then pulled out of Sydney due to illness. Next, Halep played at the Australian Open, where she was seeded 3rd. Halep secured keeping her number 3 ranking after winning her first 4 matches against unseeded players Karen Knapp, Jarmila Gajdisova, Bethany Mattek-Sands and Janina Wickmeyer, all in straight sets. However, she lost against the 10th seed Ekaterina Makarova in the quarter-finals, in 2 sets. In February, Halep won her 10th WTA title in the hard-court event at Dubai, where she beat Ekaterina Makarova in the quarter-finals, Caroline Wozniacki in the semi-finals, and Karolina Pliskova in the final. With this title win, she regained her number 3 WTA ranking. However, Halep pulled out of the following event, Doha, with a rib injury. In March, Halep played at the Indian Wells Masters despite learning of a cousin's suicide earlier in the week. She won 3-set matches against Daria Gavrilova and Varvara Lepchenko before beating Karolina Pliskova in 2 tight sets in the 4th round. Halep then beat Carla Suarez Navarro in 3 sets to reach the semi-finals of the event for the 2nd straight year. She made it to the final after world number 1 Serena Williams withdrew with a right knee injury. Halep won the final match against the 18th seed Jelena Jankovic in 3 sets to claim her biggest career title to date and take over the lead in the Road to Singapore standings. In the following tournament, Halep did well again in Miami. She reached the semi-finals, where she lost in a tough match to eventual winner, number 1 Serena Williams. In April in Stuttgart, Halep reached the semi-finals after defeating Garbiñe Muguruza and Sara Errani, but she lost in a 3-hour match to Caroline Wozniacki. With this result, she climbed up again to number 2 in the WTA rankings. In May, Halep lost in the first round in Madrid to Alizé Cornet, but then in the Italian Open, she had a good run, losing only 7 games in the first 3 matches. She beat Alison Riska, Venus Williams and fellow countrywoman Alexander Dufferu. However, in the semi-finals she lost to 4th seed Carla Suarez Navarro in a long 3-set match. Due to Maria Sharapova reaching the final, Halep dropped to number 3 in the WTA rankings. Halep's next tournament was the French Open where she entered as the 3rd seed. She was unable to back up her final result from the previous year despite being one of the favorites for the title. Halep was overpowered and lost in the 2nd round in straight sets for the 2nd time in the last 3 majors to the hard-hitting Mirjana Lucic-Baroni. During the grass season, she reached the quarter-finals in Birmingham. At Wimbledon, she was one of 6 seeded female players to be knocked out in the first round, losing to Jana Sepelova in 3 sets. During her match against Sepelova, Halep suffered a blister on the middle toe of her left foot. After Wimbledon, Halep took a couple of weeks off to regroup and make her game stronger again. In Toronto, Halep resumed her good game, winning against Jelena Jankovic, Angelique Kerber, Agnieszka Radwanska, and Sara Errani, thus reaching the final to play against rising star Belinda Bencic. After 2 exhausting tie-breaks, Halep retired due to a leg injury and the extreme heat in the final set. In Cincinnati, Halep continued her good form, defeating Kristina Mladenovic, Andrea Petkovic, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, and Jelena Jankovic en route to her 5th final of the year, where she was beaten by world number 1 Serena Williams. With this result, Halep again climbed up to world number 2. Also, she became the 2nd player to qualify for the Singapore 2015 WTA Finals, after Serena Williams. As the number 2 seed at the 2015 US Open, Halep reached the semi-finals after defeating in straight sets Marina Arakovic, Katarina Bondarenko, and Shelby Rogers, then in 3 sets Sabine Lisicki and former number 1 Victoria Azarenka. In the semis, she lost in 2 sets to eventual winner Flavia Pannetta. She also played for the first time in the mixed doubles tournament, paired with countryman Horia Tecau. They won 2 matches, but withdrew before the quarter-finals. Halep resumed her season in Guangzhou, where she was the top seed. She won in 2 sets against qualifier Petra Martic and Timea Babos, but lost in quarter-finals to young Denisa Alatova, who was apparently just training for the next tournament in the hot and humid climate of South China. Then, Halep was also seeded number 1 in Wuhan, a Premier 5 tournament. Halep easily defeated Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the second round, but then lost a thrilling match to Johanna Konta. In Beijing, Halep had to retire during the first set of her opener, due to injury. With world number 1 Serena Williams not playing in Singapore, Halep was seeded number 1 in the 2015 WTA Finals, and she started very well with a victory over recent US Open winner Flavia Pannetta. After losing in 2 sets to both Maria Sharapova and Agnieszka Radwanska, she failed to qualify further. However, she kept her number 2 position in the WTA rankings, ending the season with her best-ever year-end ranking. She won 3 titles, and had a win-loss record of 40-10. 2016, second Premier mandatory title. After missing the Brisbane International due to an Achilles injury, Halep started the season in the Sydney tournament, where she reached the semi-finals by defeating Caroline Garcia and Karolina Pliskova, but she lost to Svetlana Kuznetsova in 3 sets. Then, at the Australian Open, where she was seeded second, she was stunned in the first round, losing to qualifier Shuai Zhang, who had not won a Grand Slam match in her previous 14 attempts. Halep later revealed through a social media statement that she was struggling with an ongoing nose issue. In the same statement, she announced a surgery to fix the issue, having to withdraw from the Dubai Tennis Championships, where she was the defending champion, and the Qatar Open. Halep would also miss Romania's Fed Cup tie, however, she postponed her surgery, and stated in early February that she was able to join the squad for their matches against Czech Republic, as well as play in both Doha and Dubai, saying she had started to play good tennis. In the Fed Cup, she lost her first match to Karolina Pliskova, but rebounded to defeat Petra Kvitova for the 3rd time in as many meetings in her second match. It was, however, not enough for Romania to advance to the semi-finals. Then, in Dubai she was defeated by former world number 1 Ana Ivanovic in her first match. She suffered yet another opening round loss to Elena Vesnina at the Qatar Open a week after her Dubai defeat, dropping 2 spots to world number 5. Being the defending champion at the BNP Paribas Open, Halep was seeded 5th, and was given a bye into the second round. There, she faced Vania King, and won in just 56 minutes. Then, in the 3rd round, she faced 30th seed Katerina Makarova, and won in straight sets. In the 4th round, after being down 3-1 in the first set, Halep won 6 straight games until Barbora Strykova retired. In the quarter-finals, Halep faced world number 1 Serena Williams, but lost in straight sets. In the Miami Open, defending semi-final points from the previous year, she faced 18-year-old Russian Daria Kasatkina in the second round after receiving a bye, winning in straight sets. She then defeated Julia Gorges and Heather Watson in straight sets, reaching the quarter-finals for the 2nd year running. However, She lost to Time Baksinski despite winning the first set. Since Victoria Azarenka went on to win the title, Halep fell out of the top 5 for the first time since May 2014 when she made her top 5 debut. Having taken a short break, Halep returned to action after being named in Romania's team for the Fed Cup World Group playoffs. She defeated Andrea Petkovic in her first rubber despite failing to serve out the match twice. In her second match, hampered by injuries, Halep lost to Angelique Kerber, winning only 4 games, which was her first defeat to the German in 4 career meetings. Romania ultimately lost to Germany 1-4 and fell to World Group 2 for 2017. She began her clay court campaign by participating in the Stuttgart Open. After receiving a first-round bye, she lost to German qualifier and eventual finalist Laura Siegemund, winning only 3 games. This loss was her worst since the 2014 WTA Finals, where she lost to Serena Williams in the final, winning only 3 games as well. At the WTA Madrid Open, Halep defeated Masaki Doi, Karen Knapp, Time Baksinski, fellow Romanian Irina Camelia Begu, and Samantha Stosur en route to the final. She then beat Dominika Sablikova in straight sets and ensured her first title of 2016. Due to Halep's title in Madrid, she returned to the top 5 of the WTA rankings at number 5. However, she didn't keep her winning streak, as it ended at the hands of Daria Gavrilova at the Italian Open. At the French Open, Halep defeated Nao Hibino, Zarina Diaz and Naomi Osaka. She was then knocked out of the tournament in a rain-affected match against Samantha Stosur in the round of 16. She was aiming to start her grass court season in Birmingham, but pulled out due to injury. Halep reached the quarter-finals of Wimbledon after straight-set victories over Anna Karolina Schmidlova, former French Open champion Francesca Schiavone, Kiki Bertens, and a 3-set win over Madison Keys. She then lost to Angelique Kerber. In mid-July, Halep pulled out of the 2016 Summer Olympics due to concerns about the Zika virus. Then in her home country, she won the Bucharest tournament for the second time. She continued her form during the 2016 Rogers Cup. She defeated Svetlana Kuznetsova in the quarterfinals, and then avenged her Wimbledon quarterfinal loss by beating Angelique Kerber in the semi-finals. By advancing to the final, Halep returned to world number 3 in WTA ranking. In the final, she defeated Madison Keys in straight sets to win her 3rd title of the season. She also made here her best doubles result so far, reaching the final, paired to Monica Niculescu. Her next tournament was the Western and Southern Open, where she defeated Annika Beck, Daria Gavrilova and Agnieszka Radwanska before losing to Kerber in the semis. In the 2016 US Open, Halep beat Kirsten Flipkens in the first round, Lucy Safarova in the second, Time Babos in the third, and Carla Suarez Navarro in the round of 16. She then played an epic match against Serena Williams, with a rare comeback in set 2. But eventually she lost in 3 sets. In Wuhan, Halep played solid, reaching the semi-finals without losing a set, but she lost to very in form and eventually champion Petra Kvitova. She became the 3rd player qualified for Singapore with this performance, after Kerber and Serena, in Beijing, which would be her last tournament of the year before WTA Finals. Halep received a bye into the second round, as a Wuhan semi-finalist, and she debuted with a straight victory against Janina Wickmeyer, before falling to Shuai Zhang for the second time this year. She ended her win with a round-robin elimination at the finals. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.